Hawks, and they're doing. Business on the road in an interconference NBA game. Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. And do we have a present for you today? I'm Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony, Hall of Famer Doris Burke, and another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge, from the sidelines. Taking a look at Minnesota. And it's the Hawks to start out. Here's Vucevic. And not going to go. He misses the first attempt on the night.
You know, watching Kevin Love, he's really got a ton of tools at his disposal offensively. We know he can shoot it. We know he can post it. But his off-ball movement has also improved. Love has molded himself into a dynamic scorer.
And it's the Hawks' ball. Conley with it. Outside, Bogdanovich. To the inside. Drexler.
I'll tell you, Domantas Sabonis has got some big-time athleticism. That's a pretty dunk.
Paul surveying the floor. Pass to Bielitsa. Over Love. And no good. Trying to use the glass. And with Love and his offensive game, he has even started getting more scores off of cuts.
Yeah, Love has a good sense of timing on when a lane will open up, and often will get matched up with a defender that just isn't as quick as he is. And when everything is clicking for him, he can light it up in a quarter, as we've seen in the past.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Pass to Vucevic. It's deflected.
Improving on the defensive end as well. Domantas Sabonis getting tenacious there with the block shot.
Off the left rim and out.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Now here's Paul. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
And had the right idea there in calling for the screen, but he was just slow to get to the spot and didn't get set.
Yeah, just a matter of he needs to be there a split second earlier. Not much room for error when you're setting a screen.
Here's Drexler. He's got 5. Mitchell outside. 6 to shoot. He shoots again. In deep, Drexler drops it in. Drexler's got 7.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Pass to Murray. Back to Paul. Out left to the wing. Here's Bertans for 3. That one's off. He starts the game with a miss. And then Mitchell with the dunk.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how they've built this lead. They played as one, shared the basketball, running their offense to perfection.
Murray, good.
And you got to love how Paul sees the whole court so well. Maybe the best quality for a point guard to have.
From deep, Drexler. That's his 4th basket of the game, and he's only taken 4 shots. Off to a good start. Paul outside. Pass to Murray. Back to Paul. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
And you can blame it on a terrible defensive breakdown, one that could possibly swing the momentum here. Well, you think about the Minnesota Timberwolves becoming one of the premier offensive teams in the league. They have a huge advantage in free throw attempts and limiting turnovers, two things that have really set this group apart.
Now Drexler. Following the three-point attempt by Kevin Love.
And from the opening tip, they have been in complete control of this one.
Yeah, you know, it looks like they've wanted it more. Outstanding hustle and determination throughout.
And Doris, you look at the Wolves offense. Have they maxed out how good they can be?
I think one area they have to look at is in this age of the three-pointer, they were one of the league's lowest in three-point attempts. To me, they've got to boost that number, and I think they also need to look to attack in transition. They've certainly got enough weapons.
Pass to Brogdon from 20 feet out. Good work defensively by Conley. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, you've got to credit Mitchell for staying aggressive in that situation and getting the defense to foul him. To me, guys, Donovan Mitchell gives evidence and credence to the notion that drafting players is more art than science. Think about it. This guy taken 13th. Not much was expected. But all of last year, he was neck and neck in the heat of the Rookie of the Year talk.
Now here's Paul. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And that one, good.
Well, he just keeps rolling right now. What a terrific quarter for him on the offensive end.
The Hawks have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. That's good from Conley.
Yeah, former 4th overall draft pick. Conley took a while to develop physically, but the mental parts have always been there. And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Now here's Paul. .27 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And here we go. Love heading to the hoop. And Love throws it down.
Well, that's where Kevin's conditioning allows him to run the floor in transition and finish on the break.
Down low. Launches a 3. Looks good. Is good. Bucket number 4 from the field. He's taken only 6 shots.
And really, that's what built the early lead here. Killer shooting from beyond.
You know, I'm surprised the defense hasn't done anything to take away that three-point shot. You know, that's their preferred weapon tonight.
And so it's the Atlanta Hawks holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. They have been sharp from beyond the arc, putting on a terrific three-point shooting display. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And guys, we've seen the Hawks really take control here.
Well, already in the first period, they found ways to get this offense ramped up.
I think one key is they've controlled the tempo so far. And I know it's early, but it helps to have this kind of lead.
On defense, Minnesota. It's an 18-point game. Pass to Moutier. Three-pointer on the way. Doris, statistically, today's game is picked apart by so many different ways. But for you, what are the statistical areas that you are most interested in?
Well, I think one of the things that can be undervalued, particularly from the defensive side of the ball, are things like deflections or charges taken or even shots contested. And I say those things, Kevin, because deflections force an offense to restart. Charges taken gets a possession for your team. And shots contested contested affects, obviously, the field goal percentage of the team you're guarding. So it's all of those little defensive stats that you really have to track and be monitoring to understand the value that they have on winning.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and Bellinelli, very creative, has that ability to get into the heart of the defense.
Paul outside. Pass to Crawford. The tray. No good. And Atlanta will go the other way with it.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
And taken away by Paul. It's Crawford with the drive. And that one is hammered home.
And love how Paul seeks out his teammates. Superb at slicing the D to pieces with his passing.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far.
Boy, now you have to think about pulling him. 3 fouls already in this half. A 4th would be inexcusable.
Here's Kaminsky. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. And finished off by Kaminsky.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Just great timing on that play, too, guys. Makes it impossible for the defense to react.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That one on Chandler.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
The Hawks have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
Here's Paul. The shot, no good. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way. Outside, Bellinelli. Rebound by Bielitsa.
Jeez, maybe he was trying to show off or something right there.
Whatever he was trying to do, that's not his best look. He can get a better one.
Beasley. And it's Beasley finishing it off.
I don't think the pass could be better placed. That's a great assist.
For Beasley, as most people know, Doris, it's been a wild ride getting here.
It certainly has, Kevin, but the talent was undeniable, right? Let's remember this guy was a former #2 overall pick. Reality is, though, he had to spend some time in China. He needed an adjustment to both his game and his attitude.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Crawford left side. Paul outside. Back to Crawford. It's stolen by Bellinelli. Uncovered. And again, it's Atlanta.
Now really found his stroke here in the second quarter after missing everything in the first.
Paul with the ball. Beasley covering. Here's Kaminsky. And finished off by Kaminsky.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
It's Crawford on the wing. No good again that time.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Bellinelli gets the bucket.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
It's Crawford on the wing. Lets it go with the 3. The Timberwolves again can't hit. From deep. The shot by Bellinelli. No good. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Well, that's a really smooth release from Amir Johnson. This guy, nice work in the mid-range.
Pass to Bellinelli. Over Crawford. Offensive rebound. For the 3. The shot by Bellinelli. No good. And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. It's game one of a 3-game road trip.
You know, not necessarily what you're looking for, but still able to convert.
Pass to Bellinelli. On the wing, Bellinelli. Shot clock at 6. Over Crawford. Here's Bellinelli. In it goes for the 5th time and 10 shots for him this game.
Boy, he has exploded. You couldn't ask for a better quarter from a guy.
And it's Paul penetrating. Jacks up a 3. Atlanta with the rebound. Pass to Bellinelli. Beyond the arc.
That's his first personal foul.
5 seconds left in the first half of basketball. It's Bielitsa. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. And so it's the Atlanta Hawks with a massive lead of 30 points here at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. Right back after this break. And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. And so it's Atlanta with it. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it seems every season new records are set for the number of three-pointers made and attempted. It's proven to be successful, and of course, it is a copycat league. It's hard to know why it took so long for everyone to catch on, but now that they have, the effects continue to ripple throughout the league.
They sure have, David. Thank you. The shot by Bellinelli. No good. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. The shot by Brogdon. No good. Smooth sailing for Atlanta. Bellinelli for 3. Vucevic with the rebound.
Well, the struggles from the field continue for this guy. The way it's going, he shouldn't be more than a secondary option for them at this point.
Out to the right wing. Murray for 3. Rebound, Atlanta.
You know, guys, when you think about Kevin Love, you have to think about all of the attributes he gives you on the offensive end. He's a knockdown shooter, can hit from anywhere on the floor, but he still knows how to go body to body inside and get an easy bucket, and all of that is critical to what they do.
Wide open look here for Murray. No good on the triple.
They have yet to hit a shot, a real slow start here in the second half. That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And Love, one of the more versatile players on the offensive end.
Right, Kevin, and it doesn't just end with his shooting and scoring. Kevin Love pressures the glass and will get you extra possessions with great regularity.
And it's Mitchell missing. Now the Timberwolves with it. Nothing yet for them in the third quarter. For 3, Murray. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Ouch. 5 shots without a make. That's a really ragged start coming out of halftime.
And that one's good. Love.
Boy, Kev, the gorgeous touch from Kevin Love. That just shows you how effective he is when he gets to his favorite spots.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Drexler outside. Out to Conley. Second shot opportunity. Yep, that one goes. Conley's got 6.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
They get a hand on it. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. And then Mitchell with the dunk.
Mitchell, understanding that length and athleticism, serves him well on the defensive end. Nicely done.
Paul outside. Murray for three. Doesn't get it to drop for him. So the Hawks will take it the other way.
Hey, we're not seeing the best quarter by this guy, and he's lost his feel a little bit.
And racing up the court, you have a number of options and a great decision there.
I love how he took the initiative, right? You took charge of the opportunity and made the right decision.
Doris, who are some of the players you watch that get stronger as the game goes on? They're not cut down by fatigue and still have that energy, something left in the tank.
Those guys who show me superhuman strength a la Kevin Harlan. Those guys who come to mind, LeBron James, that's a bad man. It doesn't matter if it's the first minute or the 48th minute. Russell Westbrook is indefatigable. His stamina and his ability to dominate in triple overtime once is absolutely incredible. And then what did we see from Anthony Davis when Boogie Cousins went down? A man who for 48 minutes on both ends is a problem. Those three men, Kev.
Endless energy.
And whatever the adjustments at halftime, they are looking really good right now.
Well, there's no doubt this quarter has been all about them. They've come out hot, and they're not showing any signs of letting up.
Bogdanovich drills the three-pointer. Bogdanovich has got 5 points in the quarter.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot the D can afford to give him.
Paul outside. Just 5 on the clock. Oh, Vucevic in position. Fast break, the Hawks.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Fantastic anticipation. Then he shows major explosiveness converting at the other end.
Inside. Here's Bertanis. Kicks it out to Paul. Back to Vucevic. Paul right side. Pass to Murray. Kicks it out to Paul. And here is Murray. Covered by Mitchell. It's good from long range.
And Murray is so deadly with the catch and shoot, Jay. When the D isn't playing up on him, he has no problem going right up with it.
And so it's the Atlanta Hawks, able to put on a show for the ages. They've been playing some inspired defense. And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And here is Paul. Pass to Van Vliet. Back to Paul. And the call will be against Emmanuel Mudiay. That is his first foul of the game. G League last season experimenting, Doris, with coaches' challenges of certain calls during games. Do you see that perhaps moving over as well to the NBA?
Kevin, my understanding on this is that across NBA ownership, there is real momentum to allow for a coach's challenge. And I think it's commonplace to see teams argue a call. When it's all said and done, we want to get things correct. And so maybe you see this happen in the G League. And what's the carryover to the NBA? I don't know, but I can tell you unequivocally, ownership wants to see a coach's challenge in the NBA at some point.
And I think, Doris, anytime you can make those coaches do more, put more on the line, just adds to the intrigue of the game.
No question.
The drive by Paul. Here's Wilson. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
A huge mistake letting him establish that kind of position down low.
That's going in every time. Shocking that they let him get so comfortable down there.
Pass to Layman. Lots of room. And he gets the bucket.
You can see the improving court awareness of Emmanuel Mudiay, having an understanding for when to find his guys.
Fires it up. Kaminsky misses. And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Timberwolves. Shot's good by Wilson.
Boy, that's a decisive move to the cup. He gives the defense no chance to react.
We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Kaminsky misses. And the call will be against Emmanuel Mudiay. That's foul number 2 for him. When it comes to building confidence, Doris, some people say playing one-on-ones in practice is a huge help. Is that something that you did when you were playing at Providence?
Kevin, I believe this could be the single greatest development tool for any individual player. If you start at the free throw line and play one-on-one against a player who's maybe slightly above your level or certainly at your level, and you limit that one-on-one from the free throw line to 2 dribbles or less, your skill set, I promise you, is going to develop. The other thing I would encourage young players to do is play 3-on-3, because it forces you to move and to cut and to screen and how to do those things properly if you're going to be effective. I love 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. It always helps you when you go back to the 5-on-5.
That's such great advice.
So I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Both good from the line that time. These guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assisting.
And when everyone's involved offensively, it has a way of helping you on the defensive side as well.
Inside. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. That's his first foul.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
And taken away by Paul.
Yeah, they're starting to go in the wrong direction in terms of turnovers. It's slowly becoming a problem.
And he gets it to go. Layman's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And that's another fast break bucket. And this is the pace, though, guys, that's been working for him.
You know, I think, Greg, the faster the tempo, the better they are. And I love the pace they're playing with right now.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist. And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Paul goes in. Kidd-Gilchrist off with the layup. Doris, when you view international basketball, 13 and 14-year-olds playing in academies, some players turning pro overseas at 16, would something like that work in this country?
You know what, Kevin? I'm not necessarily for something like this. What I do believe is the NBA could become more involved across the board, and we should have more uniformity in basketball in general. And I think one of the ways to do that is to make sure we set up some sort of basketball committee across the different levels of basketball, starting with youth, going to high school, into college, then the semi-professional sort of basketball leagues out there, or the formative leagues like the G League, and then the NBA. I think we just need to look at the game in its totality and create some measure of uniformity. But frankly, I don't love the idea of 13 and 14-year-olds leaving their home to go to, quote, sport academies.
Pass to Layman. .127 left in the fourth quarter. Vaughn gets the bucket.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Hawks.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
They get it back. Here's Cornette. Trains the three-pointer.
And when you're down this many points,
hard to justify leaving a good shooter that wide open.
Right. If you want to get back in the game, you simply can't afford to let long-range shooters get comfortable.
Paul goes in. Kid Gilchrist. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And he makes the first.
At the line for your Timberwolves, Michael.
And both free throws good from Michael Kid Gilchrist.
I think the one constant with Tom Thibodeau is you can always hear his voice the entire game. Doesn't matter if you're up 20 or down 20, you will hear Tom Thibodeau on the sideline.
Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Minnesota calls timeout. They're behind by 45. 52 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Crawford with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. Back to Crawford. And Matthew Dellavedova is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game. And the bonus will go to the free throw line. Free throw. Good. Paul.
And any discussion about CP3 has to start with his hands. The dribble moves, all the steals he gets, he uses his hands better than just about anybody.
Johnson outside. Another miss by Minnesota.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And there it is for him.
Well, I think Amir Johnson knows that he has the green light, and with that fluid of form, it's easy to see him deliver on catch and shoots.
And taken away by Johnson. And it's Chandler top of the key. The rebound by Kevin Love. The drive by Mitchell. Drexler left side. And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.